Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. It's Marcus from PageProof here to take you through the PageProof Academy, which is on the PageProof birthday release. So today I'm going to take you through a bunch of features which are going to be really useful, and they focus on particularly the workflows and some of the things that we did there for the birthday release. Now, the great thing about the PageProof birthday release is we release a whole bunch of features all at once. And they all come out during June, and we're able to give you a whole lot of things which are going to be really, really useful for you. So let's get started and take a look at the features that were released during the PageProof birthday release. Okay, number one, multiple approvers. So in the PageProof workflows, you can add now multiple approvers into the final step. So if I take a look at this proof and scroll down to the final step, you'll see that I have got multiple approvers in the final step. So this allows you to go in and say, okay, here's my workflow that we flow everything through. But in the final step, I can now have 3 approvers, 5 approvers, 10 approvers. You can have as many approvers as you like. We recommend keeping those to a minimum, of course, because approvers can all send back a to-do list. So just be cautious about having way too many approvers in here. However, that is up to you. And you'll notice at the bottom, we've got a threshold here. So you're able to change how many of these that you require for the approval to be given. So if you just want 2 people out of the 3, you can set that as a threshold as to how many you need. So that is the multiple final approvers. Now, this is something that people have been asking for a while. It's now available across all PageProof plans, and you can start using it right now. In fact, you could have started using it from June. So multiple final approvers in the final step. Now, what's interesting about this is we not only gave you multiple final approvers, we also gave the ability to have no final approvers. So release feature number 2, which is no final approvers. So sometimes you just want to send out a proof and you don't want to have any approver, you just want some feedback. And the great thing is now you can do that using this feature, which is don't put anybody in the final step. So that can be empty. And you can populate it later, or you can just leave it empty and not have a final approval sent to you. As I said, very useful where you might have a piece of work that you're just internally circulating. You'd like a few comments here and there, but you really don't want to go through the formal approval process. You just want to gather that feedback and carry on and do something else with it. So you have the ability to do that with the no approvers feature. So that is something that you can do here. Something else that's quite useful, by the way, is the final step. You can now name it. So you can say, hey, this is final creative or something that you want. Now, the reason why you'd want to name the final step in the workflow is this may trigger something in an integration that you're using. So for example, if you're using Monday.com, or you're using any of our other integrations with project management tools or in Zapier or anything like that, webhooks, you can now name the final step of your workflow to anything that you like, and that can trigger an action over inside of another tool. When it reaches the final creative step, then do this. So we're enabling you to do that inside of here as well, which is a really, really great thing. Now, something else I wanted to also point out that you can add people into here. So let's just say I'm going to add, for example, we'll just put Jansen in here. And the great thing we're going to do here is we are going to set Jansen to view only. So another change to the PageProof workflows. It's available for enterprise customers and can be made available to those on PageProof Teams Plus. With a conversation with our customer success team. But the great thing here is that this view only role means that the person gets the ability to view the proof. They cannot put any markup on the proof. They can't, so they can't comment But it's just one of those features that enables you to give people the ability to take a look at the proof. Someone's almost like being CC'd on the proofing conversation. So the view-only role is also now available, PageProof Enterprise, and it's an optional extra for those on Teams Plus. You can talk to your customer success team about that as well. Okay, so those are the changes to the workflows. Really, really, really powerful changes. Means that now you can set the workflows up exactly the way that you want them. So if we take a look back at that again, you're able to set the multiple final approvers. So you can have as many final approvers as you like. And you can also set the threshold of how many of those approvers you need before it says, yes, this is approved. Again, just note that you really just want to make sure that these people are going to give you that approval because of the ability for them to send back a to-do list. So that can be something that you just need to be mindful of when it comes to setting multiple final approvers. The next one was the ability to have no final approvers. So you can have a step in your workflow, the final step can have nobody in it. And this is for that time where you just want to circulate the proof and gather feedback, but you're not too interested in approval. You can name the final step in any name that you like, help with triggers and other systems that you're connected to. And then, of course, the view-only role, which just gives you that ability to CC people on the proof, but they can't leave feedback. So some really, really great options built in to the workflows. And of course, you're able to set thresholds on things as well. So I just want to show you that. We go through and we just go through and change a few of the options here. I'll just put in another reviewer so you can see exactly what this looks like. You're able to set thresholds inside of your workflows as well. So you can change how many you need before it moves on to the next step of the workflow. So this is a great set of changes for PageProof workflows. So here we are inside Monday.com. I want to show you the integration with PageProof. We made changes here. If you're familiar with PageProof and Monday.com, it's a very, very deep integration, best integration on the market for your Monday boards when it comes to online proofing, hands down. So as you can see here, I've got a bunch of different columns inside my Monday board. So I've got a proofing step and link and version, and there's a whole bunch of different columns you can add to your Monday board so that it gets information updated across from PageProof. So really, really great way that you can get your information updated from your PageProof install. Now, the great thing here is that we've got some automations that let you automatically send out proofs. So you can send out proofs directly from Monday.com without needing to actually go over to PageProof. So you can use proof templates inside of PageProof, and then there is an automation that you can set up that says, hey, when the status of this proof goes to, send first proof, then pick up the proof out of the asset column, grab hold of the due date, use this workflow and send it out. Now, we released that in December last year, and it's been a really, really great addition. But people gave us feedback and said, hey, that's wonderful. However, we have different final approvers depending on the asset or the thing that we're sending out. So can we please choose the different approvers per item inside of Monday boards? And we said yes. So here we have it right here. I've created a people column and I've called it approvers. And as you can see for this one, I've got 3 people in here, which I've just added. And you can now have it automatically send out your proofs using a proof template, and it will pick up these 3 people out of the approvers column and make them final approvers in the proof automatically. So again, you can use this. So if I go in here now, change the status to send first proof, put my hands up in the air here because of course the automation is going to start running. It's going to automatically talk to PageProof and send this proof out for us automatically. So now you can see the proof status has changed. Again, hands up here. And if I scroll across, you can see the information is being populated into Monday.com. So now I've got the link to the proof, version, etc., and all the information is going to be updated in Monday while the proofing occurs over in PageProof. And all that information is going to be updated. So now you can just see that switch to in proofing. And if we go over and take a look at that proof now, so if I click into here, we'll go take a look at who is in the final step of that workflow. So we'll just open up this proof. We'll go in and take a look at the workflow. And as we scroll down, you can see there are the 3 people from the people column inside Monday now as the final approvers on this particular proof. So extremely powerful feature. It just means that there is another step you don't have to do when you're sending proofs out of monday.com. So something that you can use and talk to your PageProof customer success team member, and they'll be able to help set this up for you. It's a really great way of sending out your proofs from monday.com. Okay, so let's take a look now at the changes that were coming from PageProof Intelligence. So here's something I wanted to just leave to the last minute, which is, hey, let's take a look at PageProof Intelligence. So there's a feature inside of PageProof that you can switch on. So you can just go to your team as the team admin, and you can go into the settings. And on the end of here, there is a intelligence. Oh, sorry, it's in the center here. So intelligence. Click on intelligence. And you can switch on PageProof Intelligence and then turn on the first feature of PageProof Intelligence, which is SmartTags. Now, one thing I want to cover off about PageProof Intelligence, because this is something that's very important, particularly if you are in a large organization who cares a lot about which AI tools are being used with your data. PageProof has a strategy when it comes to intelligence where we are not using OpenAI to do the work inside of here. So we're not sending your data over to OpenAI and using public models for working out anything to do with AI. PageProof Intelligence is a collection of proprietary algorithms that we've written. We do use some artificial intelligence, and we also do use some machine learning designed to enhance your workflows, enhance the platform. And this is all about making proofing better. It's not about trying to create content for you. At the time you come to proofing, all the creativity is coming out of you and your team. We're about proofing. So the first feature here is called PageProof SmartTags. So that's part of the PageProof Intelligence Suite. And what this does is it is going to help you find proofs from the point you turn it on forward. So let me show you what that looks like. So you can see here, I've got a proof here. If I click into this proof, you can see it is champagne being poured into a glass. And that's great. So we've got some bubbles here, and we've got a champagne bottle, and we're pouring it into the glass, which is awesome. And what have I called this proof? I've called it Celebrate. That's great. If I want to find this in the future. And the tags that I put on here were just Celebrate. Okay, so if we go a year down the track, am I going to be able to find this proof? Possibly, if I know I called it Celebrate, and if I know that that the tags will also Celebrate. But this I can find by just describing what it is that I see. And in fact, this is the first feature again called SmartTags. So if I go up to the search and I type, let's see, bubbles, boom, it finds the proof for me. So there we can see, there is the proof that we were just looking at. It's been found by PageProof Intelligence SmartTags because there are bubbles in this image. Now, I can also try another one. Maybe if I type champ, let's have a look. Great, it's found. It knows it's a champagne bottle. You can even do a partial search and it will find that for you. So it's extremely powerful at finding things. I'm going to give it one more go here and just do it, again, do it on a live demo. If I type in pour, as in pour, great, there we go. It's found that we were pouring something into a glass. So if you think a bit further down the track that you want to find that proof that has the sunscreen in it that was for our Christmas promotion, or maybe it was some snow for another promotion that you were doing, the chances are that this will improve the odds of you finding that proof by using PageProof Intelligence. So there we have that feature demonstrated for you. Extremely powerful, but do check with your organization that that AI is something that you are able to use for your proofing tools. If people want more information on how we use data and how we use AI, you can go to pageproof.com. Down the bottom of the page, there's a link to the PageProof Intelligence page. And inside of there, we have detail and a security white paper for IT people to read over and understand our stance on how we use data for AI. Okay, so that is the last of the releases for the June birthday release of PageProof. All right, so that covers off all of the features for the PageProof birthday release. And we've got a whole bunch of new things coming over the next few months that are going to be great. So more PageProof Intelligence features and enhancements to overall every feature across PageProof. So take a look at that. One thing I also want to point out, there is coming very, very soon, for those that are into video production, Final Cut Pro will be coming soon as a supported application for video producers. And we have enhanced the Photoshop extension and also the InDesign extension as well. So if you haven't looked at the latest versions of those, take a look. Thank you very much, everybody, for your time today. That is the PageProof Academy for this month, and we look forward to seeing you again very soon. Thank you, everyone.